I have now come to the end, almost to the end of round 3. So I'm going to add the last group of ABA. Then I am going to bead into the bead from which I started, which is that B bead in the middle. It's a bit hard to see, but it's the one that the thread is coming out of. Pass through that B bead, and then I pass further through 2 beads, and that will be 1A and 1B in that first group of 3 beads that we picked up. So the 3 bead, the 8 blue beads stay at the front center where the belly button is, and between the breasts. It will spin around, but it doesn't really matter. It will, once you've finished the skirt, you can just put it back in place so that is in the front of the center at the front. But you know that this is going to be the marker for the beginning of the blouse, so we'll let it stay at the front of the doll. Now we're ready to do step 4. Again, your instructions, according to the instructions, it's a very simple step. You will be repeating, picking up 3A and passing through the next middle bead, and that you will do for a total of 15 times. Okay, here we go. As usual, I'll do a couple. I'll do 1 or 2 for the video, then I'll stop the video, then I'll continue when I get to the end of the round. Otherwise the video will be too long and I'll have to split it into many sections. So the first group of 3, and this time I'm just going to be passing through all the B beads. That's simple enough. Okay, I'm going to stop here because I see I've made a mistake, and I'll be back at the end of the round. Okay, I've already added 14 of the groups of 3A's. I'm getting ready to do the last one, and that is 3A. I sew into the first B from which I started. And of course that takes a while, so I need to get a good grip on it. And then I pass further through 2A. On the petite doll, it should begin to sit a bit tightly, but this is a different kind of doll, so it weebles and weebles a bit, but it doesn't really matter. We have our 15 groups. The next step is going to be the first of 5 or 6 increases that we will do to make the skirt. Again, we're back at the instructions on step number 4. Step number 4 looks quite a bit complicated. That is this one, but it is not complicated. It begins with, you pick up 2 groups of 1A, 1B, 1A, so through the middle bead. Another group, 1A, 1B, 1A, through the next middle group. The next set of beads you pick up will actually be a group of 5. So it is 2A, 1B, 2A. That is this one. The next 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of beads that will be added will be A, B, A. Again, a group of 5, 2, 1, 2. And the last 4 groups will be 1A, 1B, 1A. So, 2 groups of 1A, 1B, 1A to begin. I will do the 2 groups, and I will see you at the end of the row to finish that off. A, B, A, through the next middle bead, A, B, A, through the next middle bead, and then 2A, 1B, 2A, through the next middle bead. And we'll continue with the rest of the instructions, and I'll see you at the end of the round for the step up. Okay, I am now at the end of the row where I have added the last group of A, B, A. I'm about to sew into the first bead. It was the one from which we started. And then I am going to do the step up through the next two beads, 1A and 1B. Then I will be in the position I need to be in order to start round 6. Now round 6, so far we haven't done anything exciting. In round 6, that is where we'll see the first effects of the increase that we're going to make. So let's take a look at the instructions. At step 6, we'll do 3A is the first group that will be picked up through the next middle bead. 3A, and that arrow and a 2 means you will pick up 3A, but you're not going to be passing through the middle bead. You're going to be sewing into the second bead in the group of 5. The next group of beads picked up will be an A, a B, and A, the ABA, sorry. And then you will just simply skip over one bead and sew into the next bead. And then we're back to picking up 7 groups of 3As and passing through all the middle beads. And again, because we have an increase, we'll pick up 3A, sew into the second bead, pick up ABA, skip over one bead, sew into the next bead, and we'll finish off with a group of 5 times groups of 3As. So I will show you how to do the first increase. I hope you'll be able to see that properly because my doll is a bit far from the camera. 1, 2, 3A through the next B, the middle B. I pick up 3A, and this is the first in the group of 5. 1, 2, so this is second bead into this one. I then pick up 1A, 1B, 1A. I skip over this B and I sew into the next bead right after it. So I'll have a nice line of blue beads. Then I pick up 1, 2, 3 and sew into the middle bead. And I'm going to repeat that until I get to the next group of 5 where I'll do the sew into the second bead. Then I'll pick up 3 more, skip over one bead and sew into the next bead, and then finish it off. Once you've gotten to the end of the round, you can go further with step 7. If you haven't yet given up and have completed step 6, this is what your beadwork should now look like. As you can see on the sides where we have done those 2 increases, there is a blue bead that sits a bit higher than the rest of the beads. At the end of the step 6, after stepping up through the 2 beads, you should be close to one of the side beads. Now, and this is where you will begin to bead step number 7 of the instructions. Step number 7 is simply picking up 17 groups of 3 beads, an A, a B, and an A. You begin here in step 6 pick up an ABA and proceed the entire width of the doll, and then you exit through the bead from which you started, which would then be this one, and then you sew further through the first 2 beads you picked up in step 7. The rest of the instructions is pretty much the same. Continue once step 7 is finished, continue on with step 8 and work the rest through to the last step, which is also which will be 27 groups of 3A. Now I hope you won't give up, and I hope you will stay with me until the end so that you will have this fantastic looking skirt. And I will see you in part 2 for the top portion of the dress. Thanks for watching, and I hope you stay with me.